Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Etheria restart video. So in today's video, guys, we are on the last day of the final beta, and I kind of just wanted to give my closing thoughts from this final beta. You know, what I liked, what I think can be improved prior to global launch, all of those things. But yeah, so first things first, I honestly have to say that this is the most fun that I've had playing a gacha game in a long time. I've started way back, probably 7 or 8 years ago, with a game named Brave Frontier. So I played Brave Frontier first, then I played Raid Shadow Legends for a little bit, like a year or two. And then I got into some other things like Awakened Chaos Era, Epic 7, Outer Plane, King Arthur Legends Rise, and all that stuff. But I can honestly say this is one of the most fun games I've played. I think the PvE modes that they have in here, the different types of customization that the game has with the modules, and shells, I think this is a brilliant kind of mechanic for customization. This is the first I've seen in this kind of genre. There's similarities between this and prior games that I've played, like weapons and things like that kind of add on to the character. However, I've never seen it like this, like passive effects on this, where also that you can just farm these characters. Like, you don't have to pull for them. That is also brilliant, considering, I know in Zenless Zone Zero, they also have like weapons or shells or allies like this, but you have to pull for them. Like, it's another ticket system, and that sucked. But here, you can actually farm them. So that's amazing. You can skill them up. They have passive effects that add additional types of customization and variance to gameplay. It's just brilliant, in my opinion. The Matrix system, like how they do this with the Matrix icons up top, this is interesting. I'm not going to say that I dislike it. I'm like lukewarm on it. It's not bad. The only problem I kind of have with it is the fact that you could farm a mythic piece of gear and it will have really good substats, but maybe you only got a 2 Matrix drop. So once you get up to Inferno, I think everything is guaranteed to be 3 drops, so it really incentivizes people to push as fast as they can up to that level of difficulty. So yeah, it's just like another level of variance. And then on top of that, the game also has inconsistent amounts of sub-attributes. Like on this piece, I got 3 substats, and then there will be a couple where you get like just 1, sometimes 2. I don't know. Like this one, it's an outstanding piece of gear, and it only had 1 substat, where, this is another piece of outstanding gear, and it got 2. And then there's another one that dropped 1. So there might be too much variance in that, in regards to the amount of energy that you have to spend. But overall, that's a minor kind of, complaint. Now, when it comes to the heroes, I think the heroes in this game, the designs, the mechanics are really cool. The thing that I like about the characters in this game is the fact that, yes, there might be some overlap between the characters in regards to, like, oh, this character is a really fast defense down, hero. It's a really great support hero for damage amplification. But what makes the characters unique in this is some characters, even though they might do something better than like an SR, they end up bringing a unique debuff that no one else has in the game. So it gives them the ability to be used in specific areas if they get outclassed in a general sense, like with defense down or stealing turn meter. There might be other heroes that do that better than this hero specifically, like Kloss, but then you add in that additional, like, exclusive debuff to her, and it makes her never really a bad pick. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, she might not be good here because other people might do her job better. But when it comes to that unique debuff, maybe she's going to be used in another area that really outclasses that other hero that might outclass her in a specific area. So the game design around the character builds are super awesome. Another thing that I love is that the additional copies, right? The dupes do not make or break a character. I can't stress enough how amazing this is, where if you just pull one character, the character is usable. It's just like, oh, thank God. You know, I've come from so many different games where you're like, oh yeah, one copy's good, but you need 4 more copies to really unlock the potential of a character. And I cannot stand that. It's just like, okay, yes, it's hard enough, or it's pricey enough to try and get a character that you want, and then on top of that, you're telling me I have to pull 4 more for the character to be even usable? Silly. Now, this game went the other route, whereas the character skills are good at the get-go, but to unlock the full potential of the character, you need to skill up the character. Now, this is a sort of paywall, I would say, because obviously spenders are able to purchase more of the materials that are required to do that, which is these lattices, right? Like, so a whale or a spender will be able to purchase these lattices to skill up their legendary or SSR characters quicker than a free-to-player. However, the game does give you plenty of ways as a free-to-play person to get these lattices, which is nice. So, as always, free-to-play people just need to be a little more efficient with their materials than, obviously, the whales that are very forgiving. They can just spend their way out of mistakes, which I think is one of the reasons why people like free-to-play so much, is it's this additional challenge where if you spend money in the game, people are like, okay, well, yeah, you're good at a game that you spend a lot of money on. Sure, good for you. But, yeah, like I said, the game does offer you some, like, a good amount of ways to get these lattices. So I do like that they kind of went that route where the skill level ups are what unlock a character's true potential than additional copies of them. So that's really good. Another thing that they've done very, very well, in my opinion, is the fact that the SRs are also really, really strong. Of course, they have lower HP, they have lower speed sometimes, or just overall base stats than SSRs, but their mechanics are still unique in a very different way. Sonya here. Sonya has a revive. I think there's only 1 or 2 other characters that do that in the SSR area, but the SSR that can revive is more of a support instead of a raw healer. So it's not like the SSR is a better version of Sonya. It's just a different type of revive. So the designs and applications of the SRs are still super viable. So this is great. Now, the thing that I think everyone has said, and you've seen it in a bunch of other games, but sometimes developers fall into the trap where what they do is pump out new SSR heroes, and they don't keep creating SR heroes, which are much easier to level up as well. The resources that it takes to level them up, advance their star level, even skill them up, base stats, all of these chips cost less than an SSR. These lattices, the SR lattices, are much easier to get and cheaper to get. So SRs are easier to build. Hence why developers tend to not release more SRs, because they want people to spend to keep leveling up the SSRs. If this game cannot fall into that trap and release new SRs along with a bunch of new SSRs, then it is going to succeed. There are plenty of SRs that people can use that allow you to compete with SSRs if you can counterpick or pick the right just heroes in regards to what your enemy is picking. That's pertaining more so to arena, normal arena versus real-time arena. So yeah, character design has been great. As I've mentioned at the beginning of the video, I think there's so much and plenty to do when it comes to the PvE side, even though the game has advertised to be a PvP style gacha. I've mentioned this in a prior video that I said where I was talking about why PvP games are good for PvE players, and it's because the customization and the amount of grinding that you'll need to do as a PvP player pertains to PvE content. So if the game is PvP related, that just means that they're going to bring out new forms of PvE to allow for the customization and variance for all of the PvP players. So there's a lot of things to do from the PvE side. The dungeons are very unique to one another. They really tie into the elements. Like, you have to use the elemental advantage in order to be efficient and progress in these dungeons. Like on Terramaton, this is a green element. At the very end stages, if you try and bring a blue element, they're taking 200% additional damage. It really incentivizes you or makes you dig into your roster of heroes in order to beat this. So you have to get tricky. You have to use your brain a little bit. I really, really like this. There's some really nice potential here for the PvE side at launch. So it's only up from here. All they have to do is build on top of these systems that they have. The investigation and the prowess material, this is just to build up your characters. Nothing really needs to be done here other than future levels to allow for farming these materials a little bit easier. The one-time rewards, all of this can certainly be built upon the more characters that they release in the game. Right now they only have 30 levels, and I think they have close to 90 characters, so there's tons of potential here to be built upon, even though it's a one-time clear. They can also add additional levels. Like right now, it's gone up to Nightmare. They can add Inferno or Hell. So they can keep building on the levels that they already have. The reason I mention this is because a lot of times what happens with the gacha games is they'll have a base game that they release, and then they don't pump out enough content to keep the whales happy. That's one of the things that's nice about a PvP game, is even if they're a little behind on the PvE content, the whales are playing PvP. But I mention that because they already have a really solid core. They got the bones here to just build upon the stuff that they already have to have it be fun. Phantom Theater, this is a very unique, cool co-op mode that I liked. It's still a little confusing, which is good. I mean, not everything was fleshed out in the beta for me. But I love being able to just call up one of your friends and play this and get some additional rewards that you couldn't get before. And I'm sure the Nightmare mode is, maybe you get, an orange shadow print or something like that. That just helps you progress and build more characters, but I really like that. The tower mode, awesome. I like this little wheel thing that they have, while they also give you some decent rewards for actually clearing the level, and it's not all chance. They have lattices in here and stuff like that. The end reward is also one of those SSR lattices, so that's cool. Ethernet Rally, I made a video on this yesterday or the day before, and yeah, this game mode just looks like a lot of fun. I like game modes that incentivize you to build characters that you wouldn't have to build normally because they're outshadowed by SSRs or something like that. But in a game mode like this where you need a deep roster, I think it really lets the creativity come out. And then the limit events have been fun. Now, the first rotation of limited events I wasn't huge on, just because The cubic game was a little confusing, and then the other one, you kind of just picked a winner and hoped. So there wasn't a whole lot of interaction, where this one, it's kind of nice. The Cyber Shadows meme hunt, you can get really nice rewards. It incentivizes you to have a bunch of friends that can possibly give you some memes that you weren't able to acquire. So that's cool. And then the Infinity Train is just a wave system that, again, limits you to a certain amount of elements that you can use. And you just get some additional rewards if you can beat it. So I've liked everything that they've had. The Union boss is pretty challenging. It's nice. Unions give you tons of incentivization to be a part of a competitive one, or one that has a lot of members. They've already, had a game mode kind of locked and ready here. I'm guessing this will be part of the next big launch or update, where it's like a PvP game mode. I'm sure the rewards are going to be good here because this is a PvP game. However, it's just, another form of PvE, technically, that PvE players are going to be able to compete in. Now, for me, the arena modes are fun. I like PvP. I think with the amount of uniqueness to the characters, it really makes PvP, like real-time arena, a lot of fun. So this was great for me. I really enjoy all of these game modes. That's why I'm saying, I've never had so much fun with a game that I can remember recently. The Hyperlink Charter, there's tons of rewards here. I thought it stopped at the first challenge. I was just like, wow, we're breezing through this really quick, and then things kind of end. Nope, there's a whole second level. And I also don't know if there's a third level, but even just 2 levels of this stuff, the amount of things that you've got from this have been great. So the amount of rewards, the amount of things that they give you to do to push is great. All awesome. Now, the only gripes that I've had with this are kind of UI stuff. Like on the quests here, I honestly don't know why they don't show you what you can get from the daily quest. You have to complete it to get to the next level to see what it is. I know that's a minor gripe, but I just don't know why they don't do it. Same thing with the weekly missions. It's just okay, do I have a stamina recharge behind this? Should I prioritize this to push today, or is it not there and I really don't need to waste my energy here if I'm not pushing? That's kind of silly to me. I think some of the information on the bosses aren't super great as well. It tells you boss mechanics, and this is all it tells you. So you get some boss mechanics here, and then you also get boss mechanics whenever you're on the prior screen. So that needs to change. The other thing that I wish they did, here, if you hold down on a character, you can see the modules that are equipped, but it would be really nice to have the ability to quick equip some heroes in here, so you don't have to back all the way out, go to your hero thing, and switch around modules. That is just, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I think that needs to change as well. The other thing that I think is a quick, easy win is in the game, you can have modules equipped to your characters, and it doesn't cost you any money to remove them, which is amazing. However, what I was doing a lot in the beta is I would have 2, DPS heroes, one being Leon, one being Romoka, and I would just swap all of the gear between them, which wasn't a huge deal. I see their icon here, so I know that they're holding it, and I can just go and replace it and unequip. But it'd be really nice to have just preset gears that you could name, DPS character, DPS crit rate character, something like that, and you could just swap real easily between characters. It would be awesome if they had it on additional screens, but if they just had it on the Animus screen, I think that would be helpful. There's also some instances here where and again, this is kind of a minor thing, but on some of the events, they'll show you like they'll show you, if I can find it here. Maybe it's on the taskbar. Oh yeah, like they'll show you an Animus outfit, and here they actually name the character Leon, but in other ones you don't know who it is. You don't know who it's for. So I think it would be a little bit better if if they were just more descriptive about some of these things. There's also a minor gripe when it comes to like character buffs and debuffs. Like if you're not on the Animus screen and you're trying to click and see what freeze does, it won't tell you. So a little like pop-up menu would be really nice, and then it would be good if it told you if it was like a control effect or not, because here I know it says CC, which is good, right, as a control effect. However, Obel has stun, and here it just says stun, but is stun considered a control effect? I think new players who haven't played games like this might not know. The reason why I say that is because there's some game modes that say, oh, if you inflict a control effect on someone, then they lose an ability. It's just like, oh, okay, well, where's the control effect? Which would be nice as well to have, like, in the archive, all of the amount of debuffs or filtering systems on characters that might have, a CC ability. Like, who are all the characters that have steel turn meter? So if you could filter by that, like in here, it would allow you to see, who you wanted to level up. But anyway, that's basically my gripes. But overall, guys, like I said, I have absolutely loved playing this beta. It's been so much fun. I am really sad that the global launch is like 2.5 weeks away from this, because I would love to just keep playing and like fiddling around. But I know they're going to do some tweaks, and I'm sure there's going to be more news, more heroes, more things that they have planned. I don't know if they're going to give us a roadmap or anything like that, but the game's been advertising like crazy, which I love. You got to bring in new players. They've been pretty good with listening to community feedback, and they got their own YouTube channel where they're announcing all of these cool things that they're planning on releasing. So as long as they stick to that, and it's not just like, oh, we're launching the game and then they like ghost everyone, I've got so many high hopes for this game. I'm really excited, and I just want to give you my feedback on this final beta. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. If you played, I want to know if you enjoyed it, or if you enjoyed the content so far. Even if you haven't played, if it's helped you, if it's getting you excited. But yeah, that's all I got for you, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.